Hello again everyone, Saka here, and welcome back to another episode of American Truck Simulator. And we're not taking a double today. As you can see, it's a smaller trailer. We're here at the Sell Goods in Casper. Let me show you where we are heading today. So we are leaving out Sell Goods, heading up 25 past the rest area, getting on 87, and making our way to the Walmart in Sheridan. So that will be the next town that we will see. Looking to get down to Riverton, over to Jackson, and then down to Evanston. We have 124 miles, 2 hours, 12 minutes travel time. And we're leaving at 2:30 in the morning. So I don't know exactly what we are going to see, but let's go ahead and start rolling. And it's an interesting pickup here. We had to back up all the way around the corner. And we will have to back up whenever we arrive at our destination, which is a different part to the course than what we are used to for sure. But it looked to be mostly interstate driving. We shouldn't have to worry about traffic too awful much, which is always good. And at 2:30 in the morning, it's tough to, see any traffic anyway. Hey, gate guards are on it today. We'll be peering out into the darkness here, into the abyss, and we are all well and good. Really tough to see where we are going for sure. Can we get away with some brights? We'll try it. If no one else is on the road, then why not? And we filled up before the last episode, so we don't have to worry about fuel, and we just slept, so we don't have to worry about any rest stops, and it's a quick trip anyway. And a quick transition to the from the overpass. There's the highway there, and let's go ahead and get rolling. So thanks again for tuning in to American Truck Simulator for another week. A few episodes to go while we discover the rest of Wyoming, and I haven't stumbled upon any other achievements accidentally in my travels. So whenever we're done with seeing the Wyoming cities, we can take a gander and see if we can get any of the achievements. There is one particular achievement that I am interested in, and it is going to a town with a population of 1. And that just sounds crazy. Being the only person in your town, literally, is, well, at least you know everybody. And if something comes up missing, that pretty much narrows down who the culprit is. So, yeah, that's not my fault. We'll just roll with that. I'm rich, but I am not going to get stuck at a light just because this guy didn't go. Now, with $21 million, we can afford it for sure. So it looks like we are going to be there at about sunrise. And since we just slept, that means we can pretty much head out of Sheridan directly. And I don't know what is off the highway here. Hopefully something is lit up nice and bright, but it looks to be mainly just exits and overpasses. Sounds like a role-playing game. Hey man, did you get the newest module for highways and overpasses? And let's go bright, see what we can see. Definitely signage. Oh, nice. 80 on that speed limit. Yeah, let's crank that right up. And road work. Does that mean that we are going to be funneled around some funny way? Yeah, I'm just going to get out of the gas here in case these guys decide to really brake check. Yeah. Luckily, it just seems to be one lane, which is fine. We're already going 55 because we saw this coming. But this guy ain't at 55. So, cable reel. Interesting. Don't know what that was all about. Hey! You want to dip, duck, dive, and dodge on me? And judging by the landscape or the horizon that I can see, pretty flat from here on out. Hey, there's a Wona? So she's gonna pay for our traffic ticket. It's always good when, like, you get fined and then the money for that fine comes immediately right back in your bank account like nothing ever happened. Yeah, these nighttime drives are Pretty good for the traffic. As you can see, it's just like us and like one other truck on the road, but not a whole lot to see. And pretty much got this truck pegged. Yeah, we'll make short work of this guy for sure. Passing Coyote? KT? Didn't exactly see what that sign said. And I see some interesting... Okay, that's across the way. I was going to say, I see some... Okay, it's Casey. Luckily, the road work is on the other side. Oh, man, was that like a railroad cross? Like, why would there be... Oh, is this a bridge that raises? I was going to say, why are there gate arms on this particular road? And if this is an interstate, this is... crazy to stop due to a boat, but I guess you gotta do what you gotta do. Deer. I tell you, that would be something that you would not want to see at 80 miles an hour. I mean, in your truck, you just gotta plow through them. I mean, that's really all you can do. There's no stopping this big rig if a deer decides to wander out in the middle of the highway. Though with all this traffic, I think it would keep the deer away, but I am not an animal expert. But I would think that the deer wouldn't wander too close to a busy interstate. You know, in these gaps right here, though, the deer might think it's all well and clear, and then it's not clear, deer. Bang! All right, Sheridan and Gillette, 1.5 miles. Making really good time, I say. And luckily, we're making well enough time. We're actually going to get there before sun up, it looks like. So we could either find a job that takes us somewhere, or we can spend the early day in Sheridan grabbing a sleep, and then seeing if there is anything that heads to towns that we need to go to. But I believe we are almost to Sheridan. Yeah, let's just get right on across. Sorry, everybody. Coming through. So 23 miles, yeah, 23 miles on the dot according to the GPS. Which means we should see our exit here soon. And we might as well go ahead and try to take another load while we're here and while I've got you. And while the sun is coming up, it would be ideal time to go. We just need Sheridan to cooperate with us a bit and give us a load that makes sense. Alright, so yeah, we'll be exiting next exit as the sun comes up and we grab our milk. Yeah, so right off the highway, not too bad. Alright. Get her woed up. Left is not clear. Left is clear, right kinda looks clear. Got these big honking mirrors in the way. And welcome to Sheridan. I wonder if that's a Sheridan hotel, the inn. Yeah, we'll nuzzle up right behind this General Mills truck. Hopefully we can catch the light. Yeah, we are indeed. But here is Sheridan, Taco Kingdom. Got the inn up there. And welcome to Sheridan. They have a Little Shepherd's here too. Pretty cool stuff. So we'll be going to the end of the road, hanging a right. Yep, right then a right. And we're on Business 1487, and hey, they're giving us our own lane. To Coffin Avenue and Bus Dist. Clear on the left. That's what I like to see. If all intersections were like that, life would be a whole lot easier for sure.
右車線です。その後、右方向です。
Alright, we'll see how tricky this Walmart parking lot is.
右方向です。
It's like we're here before the
この先、
before the workers
右
are,
方向
but
です。
Walmart being a 24-hour gig, there's always someone here.
右方向です。
And it looks like our dock will be on the right. And if we're lucky, we can do a short side reverse here. It looks like our bay is going to be on the left, which works out very well. What's that light pole doing there? It's kind of unopportunistic. Okay, there we go. So the docks are going to be facing this way. Good enough. No, I'm not going to skip delivery, even though it doesn't make any sense to park my own trailers anymore. Yeah, we're a little... Oh, yeah. So they put that light pole there just to be a nuisance. Yeah, that's all that is. But we will round that light pole, get her straightened back out, and be good to go. And that mirror is really tough to see. I wish there was a sort of zoom function. I know in real life you can't, like, grab a pair of binoculars and see your trailer, but the trailer isn't, or the mirror might not be that difficult to see. Yeah, we're on it a little bit, just need to round her off like so. Yeah, pretty much like that. And there we go. Let's park it up at the Walmart dock. See how much we get paid here. 125 miles, 2 hours, 19 minutes. That's going to be 5,000 bucks. And I will go ahead and take a look at the job offers here from Sheridan and see if we get anything down to Riverton or Jackson. All right, everyone, we got lucky, and after a sleep, we found a combine harvester heading south, right where we needed to be. Let's take a look at the map. So we're leaving Bushnell Farms, and we are going over the river and through the woods, down Highway 14 to 20, on down South 20. Looks like we're going to pass some lookout points, which is very cool, and we're going to end up in Riverton at the heavy machinery sales place. And that should set us up nicely for a Jackson or Evanston run. 248 miles, 4.5 hour drive. And because we did sleep, it is now 4 in the afternoon. So the sun will be starting to go down. So we'll be able to grab another sleep and do a daytime run tomorrow if the loads favor us. So this boy is nice and long, so we have to make sure to take these turns wide, and we won't have to worry about backing into any spots today, which is awesome indeed. And when I think Wyoming, like, this is what I'm thinking of, like dirt, harvesters, farms, the works. And we're going to short that gate just a bit, it looks like. But no worries. Yeah, really wide turn, and taking this load that we currently have on the back through those snaking roads, this may prove to be a much better challenge than our first run for sure, where we just sort of petered down the highway for about 10 minutes and we were there. Luckily, I believe we're on the outskirts of town already, so we should be on, yeah, 87 very quickly. And it might be tough to cross this divided highway, or if it's not a divided highway, it's a... Oh, it's just a 2-lane. Good, 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 good. We do have to wait on old boy there, though. Oh, good thing we did. I didn't even see that one. Tell you, that A-pillar is very inconvenient, but I think we're good after this classic car. Luckily, no traffic behind. No one was coming from the farm. So we are good. And we're going to cross an interesting bridge here. This looks to be a hallmark of Sheridan, a landmark
この先
of
左
the
方向
town.
です。
So as we go over this bridge, it's the Sheridan Bridge. Like on each side it says welcome to Sheridan and all that good stuff. Yeah, let's try not to short that corner. Awesome, and use this hill to our advantage and get up to 80. Hopefully we can get up to 80 with this harvester on our back. And of course, inconvenient car. He's cruising. That's good. All right, on to Decker, 1/2 mile, and are we going to have to make a stop? Oh, we can bypass. Outstanding. Because we haven't even gotten up to speed yet. It would be an awful shame to pull over now. All right, let's set her for 75, and we are going to be picking up speed ever so slowly and able to take in the sights this time. So now that we're settling in for a little bit of a run, I can talk about my week. So far, just the general postings of American Truck, Formula One, and NASCAR Talladega. I'm hoping that
右車線
the
です。
Pathfinder
その
video
後
does well,
右
but
の
I'm
出
not
口です
sure at this point because I'm recording this pretty much right after that video went live, so I'm not
右の出口
sure
です。
if anyone's even interested in it or not. Next week, or should I say this week as you're watching, another Formula One
左方向
episode,
です。
and the NASCAR episode will be the Roval, the cutoff race for the 3rd round. Now we are mathematically guaranteed to go on to the next round, so no points pressure, but it's a bit of an interesting race, another wild card in the Cup Series. 45, huh? So at the Gray Bull, so Gray Bull's 91 miles away and we have a junction, and take a look at that GPS now. It says we can do 65. I don't know if this truck in front of us can do 65, and I'm not even sure if we can do 65. If this is uphill, we are going to be on the struggle bus for a bit. We'll definitely have to fill up when we arrive at our next destination before we sleep. That is for sure. So is this close to Yellowstone? I'm not sure about my geography. I know I said that many times, but I'm not sure exactly where Yellowstone is, but this is feeling very Yellowstone-y. That is for sure. These mountain climbs and whatnot. And that is an old guardrail. Holy crap, it's like all oxidized and stuff. If this is part of the national park, and here, this answers our question. So this is the Bighorn. Bighorn National Forest, and I'm better at history than I am geography. And I do know that Bighorn was a battle that General Custer went to. I don't know, it was Little Bighorn. So with this being the Bighorn National Forest, is there multiple Bighorns? Is there a big Bighorn and Little Bighorn? Is this about the area that they fought in? Not sure. It would make sense, the Western expansion and all that good stuff. Yeah, it also makes sense that we are barely creeping up this hill. Dang it, Lenka. And that's disappointing. I don't know how the game figures drivers not being able to find a way. Is it the fact that they do one load and try to come back to the garage? Is that what they do? I mean, it kind of makes sense that they have a home base. Oh man, this was going to be tight. Yeah, this is going to suck. So it makes sense that the drivers would want to come back home. But then again, why do I focus so much on distance driving if they're not going to drive a long distance? Or if they do drive that long distance, they have to find a way back home from that long distance, which that could get pretty costly as the states expand. As a driver finds something in their hometown, let's say, ooh, viewpoint. Outstanding. So that is going to be up on that hill there. We're going to be coming around this hairpin. Try to carry as much momentum as possible. Yeah, that truck didn't. But as drivers from, say, Los Angeles, and it's like, hey, there's a big route from Los Angeles to Pittsburgh. So the driver's like, okay, fine, we'll take Los Angeles to Pittsburgh. And then they get to Pittsburgh, and it's like, no, there's no route from Pittsburgh to Los Angeles. Are you crazy? So then the driver pokes around and says, ho hum, I guess I have to come back across the United States empty. Or do the drivers think 2 steps ahead if it's going a proper direction? Do they take it and then, come on there, guy, and then hope that like the last leg goes to their home base? I mean, there's a whole logbook. I can look and see, but I just haven't cared. It almost seems like the driver and the company ownership is a bit of a afterthought to the driving and land itself, which is fine. You want a solid map to drive on that looks amazing and is fun to drive before you worry about taking care of drivers and a company. And if you wanted to do a trucking company, then you play like Transport Tycoon or one of those games that are similar. And with all these states still needing to come out, American Truck Sim 3, I doubt is even in the cards. It wouldn't even be thought of. You don't want to abandon half the United States. The only way that they could get away with that is if they are making American Truck Sim 3, and they have all of the maps done to this point. So if someone does change over, they have as much as they have with American Truck 2. That's just me. And if I was in charge of a game development company, which that's a pretty scary thought. What kind of games would I make if I was in charge of a game development studio? That's a whole ball of wax that is interesting to think about. Would you be self-published? Would you seek out a publisher? What kind of game would you make? I'm sure it's a question that all gamers have asked themselves. If I could make the game that I wanted to make, what would it be? Would people be interested? And thankfully this day and age, the opportunity is there. As long as you have some self-motivation and, the drive, you can come up with something. I mean, look at all those asset flips on Steam. Not saying that games would be any good that I would make. But I would definitely put some more thought into it than it seems some developers do. Or maybe those developers just run out of time. Or they would never say it, but the developers just want to turn a quick buck. They just come up with an idea that would kickstart easily. Then they get all those donations and rake that in, and then they just don't want to do it anymore or don't work on it and say, hey, it was buyer beware. Kickstarting a project is not a guarantee that you are going to receive anything. That's an important sign. Don't know what it is, but that looked important. Is our lights on? Okay, good. I know with Euro Truck, you got fined pretty quickly if you didn't drive with your headlights on, so I don't want that to happen to us. The Bighorn River. And it was right there that General Custer said, "Huzzah, boys! We'll be back home in time for supper." Bang.
直進です。
Yeah, I haven't obviously been out toward the Bighorn. I don't know if there is like
左方向です。
a memorial to General Custer or something, like at the battle site or something to say, yep, this is where the cavalry got a little bit too enthusiastic. It's a nice little town, though. Yeah, it's kind of like the John Deere symbol. Like, if you just glance at it, it's like, oh, that's John Deere, but wait, it's a combine and it's red. What's going on here? Yep, streetlights coming on at 8:30 at night, and we're still 2 hours away. So going through those mountains definitely slowed up our pace a bit. Actually, the truck in front of us slowed up our pace quite a bit. I think I could have went through those turns much faster than he did. Online banking. Made easy. So we're on 20 now,
直進です。
with 100 miles to go. Yeah, it should be just going dark by the time we get to that place. And thankfully, since we're driving a triple, we don't have to worry about backing up. So I think we're leaving Bighorn now. Great Bull River Road. Man, 45, let's pick up the speed limit here.
速度
Right,
制
so
限
where
に
are
注
we
意してくださ
now?
い。
Thermopolis. I thought that was Thermopylae. And I'm like, Leonidas, the Spartans were here. Oh, nice. Speed limit's 70. That's what I'm talking about. Let's get up some steam here. Use this hill to our advantage. So yeah, if I don't know, what kind of game would you make if you had your own development studio? It's an interesting question. I would probably work in Unreal Engine. And I know the NASCAR team is working in Unreal Engine. It just seems like the most compatible. I mean, Unity's good too. You can do a lot of things
直
with
進です。
Unity as well. But it just seems like if you have to reach out and get some help, that if you worked in Unreal Engine, there would be someone out there that could answer your question pretty quickly. But I just don't know subject matter. What I would kind of like to do is if I could do almost a motorsport manager aspect, but with stock car racing. I probably couldn't get the NASCAR license, being an independent developer. Either that or they would give it to me at a high price. But it would be like a stock car manager. Getting sponsors, research and development of the engines, you know, working on your intermediate track program, short track program, road course program. I'm sure I could design some interesting tracks that are kind of like the real thing, but not really, not close enough to get sued. That's another thing too. Like the games I would want to develop, I'd have to be careful not to get sued. Just for like the stuff that I would want to put in. It's like, no, that's a brand. That's a copyrighted thing. Or a trademark thing. You
速
can't
度
do
制
that.
限に注意してください。
Oh man, we're backing her way down.
速度制限に注意してください。
Alright, so in town. Don't exactly know which town. But yeah, I think a motorsport manager game would be good for... It would be a niche game, that's for sure. Not everyone would be racing to Steam, pun intended, to download Stock Car Manager Simulator or Stock Car
直進
Manager.
です。
But I don't think there is like a close equivalent. I could be wrong. There could be like an officially licensed NASCAR management game that I am just completely clueless of. But I would like to think I would have heard about it. Dinosaur at Thermopolis. Oh yeah, freaking dinosaur bones are out here. A lot of fossils were found. Yeah, I would say dinosaur game, but that is a genre that is overdone, I think. And games like Ark have probably done it better. Then there's the Isles or the Island or whatever, and that, not sure about that one. But yeah, a stock car manager simulator would be unique enough, I think, to draw some attention. I would also like to do kind of an RPG like Pathfinder did, really inspired by Wrath of the Righteous and Pillars of Eternity. You know, the stories you could tell using an RPG. I think that would be really good. I don't know if I could write one, but I could come up with an idea. All right, 65 over the Bighorn. So we're going back over the Bighorn River. Gotcha. Wind River Canyon. Now see, this is where some realistic top-heavy physics would come into play, I believe. If you had a really top-heavy load, the wind would be trying to push you over. Yeah, I know. Don't tell me you're stopped in the lane. Okay, good. So 45, is it? Okay. Nice, another new viewpoint. Wouldn't be worth looking at now, that is for sure. 35. 3 tunnels ahead, maybe icy. Yeah, that is one thing that I'm glad they don't have is ice and snow. I know it's like a big deal in Wyoming, Colorado to have a lot of ice and adverse driving. But I, for one, wouldn't enjoy it too awful much. Like, I can barely stand, like, rain driving in Formula 1. I could imagine ice driving in American Truck Sim. Right, entering the Boyson State Park. Kind of looks like a power plant over there. All right, let's get back up to speed. Man, this climb. Power! Yeah, I think we're cresting over our hill, so we should be good. But only 30 minutes away, not too awful much night driving left. We'll be making a right turn here at the bottom of the hill. So yeah, definitely going to grab fuel and sleep before the next episode, and maybe we can get lucky. Looking at the map, I did see a rest area not too far away. I don't have to go too far off the beaten path. It just sucks because these gas stations aren't real. Not valid. The Shoshone Town Hall. So judging by just a guess, the Shoshone were out here? I'd have to look at Europa Universalis 4. See what native tribes are out this way. Riverton and Lander. Yeah, get this thing back up to 70 if we please. For not too awful long, unfortunately, but we can keep her going. So that windy, tricky section was not as bad as I thought it was going to be from the GPS. Unfortunately, that truck in front of us slowed us up, otherwise we would have been here a little bit earlier. But no worse for the wear, I don't think. Man, the hits just keep on coming. Alright, getting into city limits, it looks like. And our drop-off is literally right off the road. So we'll be passing through a four-way and then we're there. And here we are. What was that all about? Okay, I'm gonna have to look at the tape. I thought we were going straight on. Not my fault if you can't drive. Although that could have been me. I'm not gonna accept blame or cast blame yet. I like to see the tape. Catch a replay. Because I don't think that was my fault. I think I was going straight in the right lane as I needed to be, and he just came on over. I don't even know where he was. But I do know we're in Riverton, and we're about to drop off our combine. And there we go. Aside from that last punt, easy delivery. 249 miles, 6 hours and 58 minutes for another $19,000. That'll pay for the impact. So here we are, everyone, in Riverton. Not really much space to move around, but I'll wiggle my way out. Grab some fuel, grab some sleep. And we'll see if we can get to a new destination tomorrow, but that will do it for me. Like, share, and subscribe if you are so bold. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next American Truck Sim video. Take care.